Do 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 do. Hey, there's people. And he has a doctor and a clown? Yeah, tell me how you really feel. I don't know this lady. I don't know anything about this woman. I know what I looked up on the internet 2 days ago. Three days ago. I don't remember. Hello, Horse and Rider. Hello, Goonerette, you were first. Hello, Rocky, you were second. Hello, Diary. Hello, Tea with Unicorn. Hello, PJ. I don't know how this one's gonna go, because this is an audio-only file. I should probably turn off my soap cracking video. Not everybody likes the sound of that. Oh, never mind, it's over. Yay! So, I don't know what to do to entertain you visually while we're listening to this, because it's an hour long, and I talk a lot, so there's gonna be a lot of interruptions. Also, I'm having a rough day, so you will have to pardon this. This is as good as it gets today. I have a heating pad wrapped around my midsection, so we're gonna play this one by ear. Probably gonna play with Coffee Grounds from OG, because what is that noise? Don't tell me my audio's screwing up. Show us the slime. You guys are cracking my shit up. I have a collection up here right now. I don't know why. I've got the coffee creamer. I've got coffee grounds. Have you noticed the theme here? I've got the, which one was this one? This was the sugar cookie cold foam from Momo Slimes. What is that crinkling noise? You guys hear like some weird sound feedback, let me know. Alright, we've got marshmallow. This is OG. Marshmallow. Graham cracker. And I fixed the chocolate so it's not getting on everything anymore. We have the warm apple cider. We have autumn morning and then cozy cabin. I guess for autumn, OG Slimes put out a scent pack. Like the whole point of these was to be scented, to like aromatherapy. That's the word I'm looking for. What do I have you guys haven't seen? Oh, I've got Santa's Milk and Cookies from Momo Slimes, but it's like under a bunch of shit. We've got Sleep Paralysis, which is one of my favorites. Oh, yeah, hang on. Chats among yourselves. I'll go grab the other one that I really, really like. Maybe we'll... No, don't do that. Oof. Heating pad reapplied. Okay, all right. We also have, oh, this one's really good. This is the Peppermint Bark Crunch from Momo Slimes. I think I've said this once before. I really like Momo Slimes fragrances, like the scent of their slimes. But when it comes to like the texture, I really like OG Slimes best. So, too late, Allie. I'm already back. But this one, the mulled wine, not crazy about the fragrance. It's not bad. I'm just not crazy about it. But ooh, look at it. The color shifts. I swear it color shifts. Ooh. Anyway, ooh. It's also melting. I need to stabilize it. It kind of smells like hairspray. Like hairspray from the 80s. If you know, you know. Aquanet. I don't think that was their intention. I have way too many slimes up here. Anyway, so I'll probably just rotate through them then, I guess is what's going to happen. Okay, so, but that's not why we're actually here. It's going to end up why we're actually here, but oh my god. Oh, look, if you don't have functioning lady bits, just be, thank you the Lord and Savior. You just put it that way. That one, look, the mulled wine and the sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is the same way. Where's my black? And you can't really see it because of the chunks in it, but like it's like a purple blue shift, and it's melting too. So, my Starry Night. I told you guys I have too much damn slime. This is why I'm not allowed to buy any more slime this year. Oh, stargazing. And then this one's just black. Just black. It smells like cologne. The black one. Yeah, the melting ones I need to reset. I'm learning how to take care of slime in my spare time. Well, you know, emo. mold. What's the difference? Yeah, Aquanet. It kind of smells like Aquanet, Sangi. Yeah, welcome my. Me too, diary. Me too. Cannot get here fast enough. Yeah, your mom's hair stuff. Right, Rocky? Yeah, the eggs need to go. If anybody wants them, you can have them, but you have to, like, pay for that shit yourself, but still. Yeah, Cloak on Cloak. I haven't seen much about this. I know there was some chatter in the Discord, Nerfy's Discord, and if one of the Discord mods pops in here, hopefully we'll get a link for that. But, and everybody thank Rocky, because Rocky's doing the Lord's work, archiving a lot of this stuff. But unfortunately, this particular podcast, The Medical Detectives, is only available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts right now, and it does not have a video component, unlike its sister podcast, which is apparently The Dating Detectives, which looks really cute. I've seen a couple clips of it, and it sounds like the storytelling on it's really cute. I meant to sit down and listen to a couple episodes, and then I just didn't get around to it, basically. Rocky is the fearless leader. Hey, Diary's got us one. Yay. All right, here we go. There we go. Pin message. All right, if you guys want to join the Discord, the mysterious Discord I'm always talking about, Diary has provided us with a limited time link. I have done the thing where it sticks to the top, pinned it. So, well, comment sections exist on Spotify, though. You can even post video on Spotify. I know, because I have podcasts on Spotify. I know this. I know I can do that. So I don't know what she thinks she's escaping that way. Still searching for the uterus. It's in there somewhere. The uterus has gone rogue. All right, let's oh, Jesus, give me a minute. Sorry. Is your uterus in chat? I wish. I need to have a good hard talk with it. There is I guess I can copy the episode link. Here we go. There's the Spotify link. How could she show off her booty? I'm sure she'll talk about it. Oh. Look, I know you can comment in Spotify. All right, this welcome to the very first. You should be able to see stuff. Good luck, dimpled skeptic. Welcome to the very first episode of the Medical Detectives. In this powerful first episode, co-hosts Dr. Nance and Anna flip the script, and Dr. Nance interviews Anna. You can't flip the script if you don't have a script. Like that's the whole point of flipping the script. But whatever. What do I know? I didn't run a podcast for 11 years. In this powerful blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Anna spent years struggling in her body before finally deciding to get help. Well, I mean, if I was stuck in something, I would suppose I'd probably ask for help eventually too, but imagine going through life envisioning, okay, let me stipulate some things. Imagine going through life as a fully able-bodied person, having no physical ailments that prevent you from doing anything, right? Imagine being that and going through life envisioning your body as an entity outside of yourself that is actively working against you at every opportunity. There's nothing wrong with Anna. Okay, there are people in the world who have things that are outside of their ability to control, right? And I understand that those people like cope by disassociating, and that's fine. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I don't have anything against that. That's not Anna's case, right? That's not Anna's problem. Just imagine being a fully capable person, and for no real reason, just completely separating yourself from your physical body so that you don't have to take responsibility for the shape and the health of your physical form. I just blows my mind. Anyway. This is the photo of this is it, K-Buns. This is it for the podcast. Let's scroll up a little bit. This is all we've got. You guys can't see my mouse again. Dang it, I hate that. All right, anyway, Anna spent years struggling in her body before finally deciding to get help, which sent her on a whole other journey, trying to crack the mystery of her diagnosis. Presenting to the emergency room, Anna opens up about her experience with confronting medical bias. Darn medical bias. Navigating being a public figure while living with a chronic illness. This one's gonna kill me, isn't it? I haven't listened to this yet. This is a cold listen. I should not be doing this. I'm not in a good mood. This is gonna end badly. All right, go get your popcorn and your drinks, guys. And grappling with the shame that often comes with living in a bigger body. Oh, it's bigger, not larger. In a bigger body. Here's something I need from somebody, because I'm driving myself nuts trying to do it. You know how often the cynical dude says, for me, I cannot find a video with him doing that I can pull a clip from, because I just want that clip. I just want that little clip to put in my own videos every time somebody says for me. And I just need that little like 5-second clip for me. It's not even that long. Well, yeah, there's no weird typos in the description, Allie. She didn't write it. Someone else did. Discover how she overcame shame, fear, and repeated misdiagnoses to finally find compassionate healthcare providers who looked beyond her size. She finally found healthcare providers who looked at her bank account and not the fact that she was super morbidly obese. Anyway, if you've ever felt dismissed or misunderstood on your own path to wellness, Anna's story will bring you hope and validation. Here's what's going to piss me off about this. Other than like everything on my face itches. There are people who have this problem. You know, there are people who have issues getting diagnosed. There are people who have very difficult to diagnose illnesses and that kind of things. You know, not everything is straightforward. You don't walk into the doctor and he sticks a thing down your tongue and goes, you have XYZ. It doesn't really work that way. Like, everybody has a little bit of a journey to get a final diagnosis, especially when it's something chronic like this. And it might change over time, right? You might get an initial diagnosis, and down the road, it turns out that a different diagnosis might fit you better, right? But Anna's going to do this bullshit here, and she's going to bring her fat acceptance crap into this, and she's going to song and dance this shit and be like, nobody would take me seriously because that's fat. And it's going to come off to other people who are going to be like, oh my God, nobody will listen to me because I'm fat. Because I'm fat. And it's like, did it ever dawn on any of you that maybe your problem is that you're fat? I mean, obesity is an issue. It is a medical diagnosis. I don't understand why this is so fucking hard for people. Anyway. This is going to make me so mad. I'm going to have to go close my door. Tune in for an honest conversation about women's health. Anna is not women's health. No. Tune in for an honest conversation about women's health, body acceptance, and the power of self-advocacy, plus the surprising twist and setbacks that make Anna's story one you won't want to miss. I want to miss this already. I don't want to listen to this. Do you have a medical story you want to share with the show? Email us at yada 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 yada. The fact that you have Anna as your co-host immediately puts this show in my bullshit sector, so no, I don't want to share anything with you ever. And anything that gets shared with you is immediately super sus. Because you've already proven that you're a woo show, and you're just one of those doctors that has doctor in front of your name because you figured out how to make money with the word doctor, and you're not actually interested in being a doctor. So that's my prediction going into this. Wow, it's already got 4.5 stars. Go. Can I preemptively give it 1 star? What's this do? Remove from my episodes, add to queue, see episode description, mark as finished, share. Where are the comments? Give me a second. I'm on the Huberman podcast here. Where are the descriptions for things? Like, you can have comments on Spotify. Can you not have comments on Spotify anymore? Am I insane? Oh, anyway, I'm just making everybody crazy. All right, here we are. I don't... Look, man, it's been a really long time since I've used Spotify. I really don't use it that frequently, so, like, everything's new to me. Like, why doesn't any of this work? There you go. The Medical Detectives is a weekly podcast where medicine meets mystery. Told by the very people who've lived it. Hosted by the orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Aaron Nance, and the content creator, Anna O'Brien. Just content creator, not confidence queen, not lipedema warrior, not plus-size diva. Each episode unravels strange and surprising medical tales from the people who lived through them. Think of it as a detective story, only here the clues are hidden in blood tests, x-rays, and patient files. Woo! From curious unsolved diagnoses to behind-the-scenes accounts of what really goes on in hospital corridors, Anna and Dr. Nance guide you through the ups, downs, and jaw-dropping moments of life in the medical world. Look, I understand that Dr. Nance is a doctor because she has DR in front of her name. I don't know who Anna is. What the fuck does Anna have to add to this conversation? What? What does Anna have to fucking add to this conversation? In every episode, you'll hear firsthand stories from guests who've confronted real medical puzzles on the relentless search for answers in a system that doesn't always have them. Dr. Nance brings her insider expertise as an orthopedic doctor Um, while Anna uses her own patient experience dealing with quacks to spot the heart of every story. Together they explore the suspense, the drama, and sometimes even the humor behind solving these real-life medical mysteries. There's a really great channel on YouTube called Chubby Emu. I recommend that one. I've never watched Dr. Mike, but I've heard really good things about him. I would recommend that one. I'm sure there's like 50 other channels I could recommend before the Humorman Lab podcast. Go listen to that one. Whether you're a curious mind, an avid true crime fan, what the fuck does true crime have to do with this? What does true crime have to do with the pitch of this fucking... Okay, anyway. Or someone who's been left in the dark by confusing diagnoses. What does true crime have to do with this? The medical detective shines a light on the unexplained. Boo doo 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 doo. Listen in each week to learn, to question, and to be amazed by the strange but true cases that prove sometimes the most gripping mysteries unfold in hospital. Who wrote that last line? What? Did you fucking have an AI write that? The strange but true cases that prove sometimes the most gripping mysteries unfold in hospital corridors. I wrote that and someone told me it sounded good, so I kept it. That is the worst. Like, honestly, the rest of this has not been that bad as far as copy goes, with the exception of an avid true crime fan. I'll catch up with the chat in a second, but oh my god. Oh, sorry about that. But like that and this last fucking sentence. What? Sometimes the most gripping mysteries unfold in hospital corridors. Sometimes they unfold in back alleys. Sometimes they unfold on the backs of cereal boxes. Okay. I guess it depends on what your definition of gripping mystery is, I suppose. Where's my chat? Come back, chat. Here it is. Endocrinologist. Yeah, right, true crime. Yeah, she wants to claim fat-phobic medicine as a crime. Yes, fat-phobic medicine, you know, medicine that tells you that being obese is bad for your health. How dare. You know, how science can prove that being obese is bad for your health. I mean, that's crazy talk, I understand, but, you know, science. True crime is kind of how Anna lied to her inch. Well, that's, you know, that's fair. True insurance fraud. Anna's story is true and false. That's the thing, like, Anna's story does probably have some truity to it. It's just not what she's going to bank it on. It does feel like AI got the prompt. Tell me about medical detectives. It's not live, so it can be downloaded. Well, I don't need it to be live. I just was hoping for like a video so we could have something to watch. It's wild that Anna has found a new way to gaslight herself and her audience. Yes, textbook committee, yes. My mystery has been gripped. It's truly happening, but it's all lies. Hannah, I mean, I don't disagree. I liked House. Something tells me this won't be as good. This is House season 15 after they fired all of the original cast and hired new writers. The serial killer. Thank you, Rocky. She's a hand surgeon. Look, I'm not knocking Dr. Nance because clearly she knows what she's doing inside of her own field, but that would be me, like, my field of expertise, well, expertise in archaeology, field-wise, was like North American archaeology. Like, I was pretty well versed in North American prehistorical and historical archaeology up to post-contact and all that, like, because that's what I did. But it would be like me going to Britain and deciding that simply because I do actually have a degree that allows me to do archaeology, that I am an expert on British archaeology. I'm not. I know very little about it. There's some overlap, but it's very, very little. And then to have a podcast about British archaeology with myself as the lead host, and then to bring in, I don't know, who wants to be my co-host here? Kayla, because you're the first name I saw. I don't know. Kayla might actually be a British archaeologist, but let's pretend like you're not. And Kayla and I are going to have a podcast talking about everything we know about British archaeology. I'm sure it's going to be gripping. You know, it's that level of bullshit. Anna knows nothing. Anna is bringing nothing to this podcast. How did these two meet? Maybe we'll find out. But Allie, I'm an expert in awesomeness. There you go. Allie, Kayla, and I are going to go start a podcast about archaeology anywhere except North America. And it's going to be amazing, right? And every other archaeologist in the world is going to start yanking their hair out of their head. Emo, I'll do it. Like England and old stuff. Oh, you'll be a real historian when, well, not that, that was rude. I was gonna, sorry, Rocky. You'll be a real boy one day. That came out really, really wrong. I want a trigger finger fixed. She is my girl. I want my immune system investigated. It would be an immunologist. See, that's the thing with Chubby Emu. Like, he's a emergency room doctor, but he goes over, like, cases. Like, he explains cases to you. And he also has his friends do goofy little reenactments of it, which, you know, makes it pretty funny. So, it's, I don't know, I just, anyway. Let's play with some mulled wine because it looks like blurred. And we're talking about medical mysteries. All right, everybody got their stuff. I live in England and I'm old. There you go. That qualifies as archaeology. Squish. Get your drinks, get your snacks. Who will bet? Who wants to bet? Yeah, I guess put your bets forward on the... If you've already listened to this, no spoilers, please. I want to be properly outraged at the proper moments. Thank you very much. Dr. Webb is another good YouTube doc. He's a spine surgeon. I don't know who that is, but there we go. Come on, Lid, go back on. We both know you fit. Here we go. All right. Is Anna going to investigate herself? Yes, Lyra. That is the first case we are investigating is Anna and her mysterious mysteryness. That's the cue. Is there really no way to comment? There's gotta be. I get comments on my podcast all the time. Anyway, all right, off we go then. I'm scared to listen alone. Oh, that's really quiet. Can you guys hear that? Probably not, because I probably don't have the sound turned on for it. There's chat. There's my mic. There's YouTube audio. Let me try that again. Well, that's still really quiet.
Welcome to the very first episode of the Medical Detectives Podcast, where each week we'll dive into the fascinating, mysterious, and sometimes downright bizarre world of medicine.
I'm guessing that's Dr. Nance, because that's not what Anna sounds like when she's being Anna. How long do we think this podcast will last? I'm pretty sure they've probably pre-recorded a few episodes, Lizzie, so I don't know exactly. I don't know how many episodes they've pre-recorded. They do have a sister podcast that seems like it's pretty popular called the Dating Detectives, so I think it's the same producer, and maybe that's how these two have met, is through that producer, but I don't know. I hope they explain it, because it really, that's the mystery to me, is how the two of these two have met. Oh, I feel like labor pains is what these are. That's what.
Told by the people who've lived it. We're your hosts. I'm Anna O'Brien. And I'm Dr. Nance, an orthopedic...
Ooh, they sound so similar. Oof, that's gonna be rough. All right, anyway.
Surgeon with a passion for uncovering disparities in medicine. I've built a platform on bringing awareness to misdiagnosis in women and sharing stories that can hopefully help people navigate the complicated world of medicine.
And I'm Anna. I'm a creator with my own medical journey, and while Dr. Nance has all of the experience of a doctor, I know what it's like to be a patient with my own medical mystery, and I'm here to ask the
Your medical mystery is that you didn't want to pay for liposuction, so you found a doctor who was willing to operate on you despite your BMI being well outside of the 50s.
questions that you, the audience, are going to be wondering.
This show is all about sharing unique medical stories
hate it
that are not
already.
just fascinating, but could also be helpful, whether you're a patient, a caregiver,
Oh, it's very scripted. This is not what a normal podcast sounds like.
or just someone who loves a good mystery.
Each week, we'll have a guest on the show to share their
Oh my god, this is scripted.
personal medical story.
I wonder how many times they... I'm sorry, I'm going to keep interrupting you. Okay, look. Something you need to know about me going into this podcast, because otherwise it makes no sense why I'm being so critical. Oh, hey, textbook committee. Your eyes are already at maximum roll. Doesn't that hurt though? All right, anyway, things you need to know about me. I ran a podcast for about 11 years. And I not only ran my own podcast, I launched 3 other podcasts, one of which was actually fairly successful and is still, to my knowledge, running. So I guess my point is I've had success with podcasts, I've had failures with podcasts, and failure's not really the word for it. They just didn't take off. Right? So anyway, my point is I know about podcasting. I'm not like the podcasting god, but I know about podcasting and I know what makes a good podcast and I know that kind of shit. So if I'm being like super critical or nitpicky or shit like that, it's because I'm just applying what I know to this. So that's the thing. Just letting you guys know that it's not just me being like my normal nitpicky self, because normally I'm just nitpicky.
And we'll unpack it together. But today,
Yeah, it's like NPR Hyper Podcast produced. Yeah,
for the first episode,
it makes it very unrelatable.
things are a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different.
That's right, Anna, because for this
That's right, Anna. I need sock puppets. Hang on. That's what we need. We need sock puppets. Hang on. I'll be right back. Sock puppets. Where are my puppets? No, my heating pad's all the way over there. Why you guys put up with me, I have no idea, but I appreciate that you do. Alright, look. It's the best I can do on short notice. So. Oh, my heating pad still works is beyond me. I don't know. Drop it a few more times, I suppose. Alright, we got. I need to pull up my screen. I need to see what I'm doing. How does this even look in real world? Alright, look. They do a sock puppet. Alright, this is Dr. Nance. Because it's got owls on it, okay? Follow me. Oh. Maybe Dr. Nance can find the medical mystery of my cramps. Why don't we have a cure for cramps yet? It's not like we haven't been having them for millennia. I thought I washed this. It's washed. What's wrong with my sock? Anyway, and this brightly colored one with little foxes on it's going to be Anna, okay? Because it's like the most gaudy sock I own. So there you go. Anna, Dr. Nance. Hopefully I will be able to determine who's talking because they both sound very similar to me. So here we go. Let's do this from here. I can't. Oh, I can. Yay. No. What have I done? Damn it, Dr. Nance. Why did you do that? All right, now I just want my chat back. There we go. All right, now we can hit play again.
first episode, our guest is you.
Yep, I'm in the hot seat today. So if I sound just a little bit nervous, it's because I am. I'm representing you and your stories. And I also represent people who don't have a medical degree, who aren't going to know all of the lingo and might be a little confused along the way.
But don't worry, because I'm super intelligent and don't mind telling you guys things that I've read on the internet and am regurgitating, even though I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Yup. Anyway. Yikes, Ellie, Jesus. I don't have that problem. Thank God. You want to know the same? Seriously, there's like, what, 51% of us have this issue? Where is my cure for cramps? I don't want to lose my reproductive innards. They do things besides reproduce, on top of cause me vast amounts of pain once a month.
I've experienced personally the highs and lows and frustrations of navigating the healthcare system, so to be the first person to kick this off kind of feels right.
Anna's story is the perfect way to kick things off. Her story is relatable, full of surprises, and I just feel so lucky she's decided to share it with us.
I just feel lucky to have the opportunity to share it because I wish stories like this were available to me on my journey, and now they will be. My story is about a lot of different things. The stigma plus-size bodies face when receiving medical care, the body positive movement.
I will fucking murder you. What does the body positive movement have to do with you having lipedema, Anna?
And also being a medical mystery and what that feels.
You are not a fucking medical mystery, Anna. You are fucking morbidly obese. Everything that is wrong with you is predictable because you're morbidly obese. Literally, everything that is wrong with you has been predicted. Has been told to you by other people who aren't even medical people. Not only that, but the weird fucking way that you're re-adding weight onto your body after your fucking liposuction has been predicted by doctors outside of the US who are not following the bullshit US standards for treatment of lipedema here in the States. There is literally nothing about you that is a medical mystery. You are basically the standard for the obese American and the health issues that the obese female American has when they are fat like you. Okay? You're not a medical mystery. You are the person we point to and go, this is what will happen. Okay? There's nothing mysterious about that. I'm putting my slime up real fast because it'll stick to my sock puppets. And I don't want my slime stuck in my sock puppets. I still wear these socks, okay? I don't know how long these sock puppets are going to last, though. It feels weird on my hands. There we go. Back at it, Anna. Back at it. Gotta be a medical miracle, Anna. I'll just tell that to Sock Anna. Can I make Sock Anna puffier? Come here, Sock Anna. No, we're not going to do that because that'll just make it uncomfortable. The reason there's no cure for cramps is because it was discovered it doesn't exist because none of the male test subjects had them. Yes. My bad. My bad. We're never getting through this podcast, by the way. We're 2 minutes in.
But that's just a few of the things we'll talk about. Mine is just one of the many stories we're going to be telling on this show, and I'm really
story being the keyword.
Excited to be doing this with you. We just hope that this show will give people and patients a place to be seen.
By not showing any video whatsoever, I feel very seen.
Find community and learn from these incredible stories on their own medical journeys.
You can tell that Anna is performing. Sock Anna aside, you can tell that Anna is performing because we know what Anna sounds like when she's just spontaneously talking because we've heard it and we've seen it. But we also know what it sounds like when Anna's performing. And right here where she's talking, she's like, when she does that, she's rehearsed whatever it is she's saying. And she's either reading from a script or she's rehearsed what she's saying. Also, the sound on this is so clean. Like the background sound of this. I'm not saying that you can't have background that is this clean because I have no idea how quiet my background is, to be perfectly honest with you. But typically when you're in a recording situation like this, unless you're both in the same recording studio, which they might be, having two people with recording setups have the exact same silence in the background is usually pretty difficult. So I don't know if they both sat down in the same space and they were recording in the same space, or if they both went to like a professional recording setup to record, but they're certainly not doing this from like their living room or anything like that. Just letting you guys know, which just tells me that there's been a lot of production put into this podcast. And the more production that goes into a podcast, the more rehearsal goes into a podcast. And you would think that would mean the more like research would go into a podcast, but Anna's the first story, and we know Anna's story. We've watched it. Okay? We know what Anna's story is. So we're going to be able to fact check this fucking story as she tells it, which is going to tell us how good this podcast is at fact checking itself, right? We are not in the same room. Anna would only do this if she's getting paid. Yeah, that's the other thing. I would like to know how much Anna's getting from this. Other than, I guess she may think she's getting good exposure. But it's very interesting that in the About section here, she's described as content creator, Anna O'Brien. Not influencer, not author, not... What are the other ways she's described herself in the past? None of the ways she has described herself. This is just basic, you know... beige content creator. I'm a content creator. You know, you make a blog, you're a content creator. You post shit, you're a content creator. Anybody can be a content creator, right? Anna travels. Anna does laundry hauls. You can tell what's on my brain. Anna does clothing hauls. Anna does makeup. Anna does pageantry. Anna's been in a movie. Anna does sketch comedy, whether you think it's funny or not. You know, it's just like Anna does a lot of things. Content creator just doesn't cover that, right? It makes her sound so unimportant. But anyway. Yeah, Anna called herself a scientist when she wrote her book. Fashionista, fitness guru, lipedema warrior. Let's all just bask in the awesomeness that is Allie for a moment. We love Allie. Allie needs her own t-shirt. Runner, thank you, Hannah. Maybe she's trying to move into the audio/podcast space so she can rope in new people who may not think to look her up visually. Here's the thing with podcasting, though. Podcasting's moving in. I mean, podcasting's still podcasting, but it is moving into video casting. So it's like vlog-casting, if you will. So the fact that they've decided, because their sister podcast has video. The Dating Detectives does video. So why this podcast didn't start with video is kind of a question for me. Because it's not like they don't know that that's a formula that works. Like literally every other podcast I follow, with the exception of my own podcast, because I'm old and I didn't jump on the boat fast enough. But almost all of the other podcasts I follow do visual on top of audio. But anyway. Yeah, lipedema superhero. She is not tagged as Glitter and Lasers Tea with Unicorn. That's the other thing. She's just Anna O'Brien. There's no connection with her and the Glitter and Lasers name here. Now, maybe she'll mention it in the podcast when I let her talk for more than 2.5 minutes, but here we go. With her humility. It is easier to edit and control audio only. Yes, that is true. Podcast with slides. Yeah, well, she's already, all right, here's the thing. I'm going to let her talk. I'm going to put my sock puppets down. I'm going to pick my slime up. We're going to let her talk for a full fucking minute. I'm not going to interrupt her. It's going to be an exercise in control. All right, are we ready? Full minute. Let's go.
Absolutely. So buckle up, because this first story sets the stage for everything to come. Anna, you ready to dive in?
Let's do it. Hello, Dr. Nance.
Hi, Anna. Welcome to the show.
I know. I'm a little nervous because on this first episode, it's me.
I don't know any other podcast where the co-hosts actually interview the other co-host, so I'm excited.
I don't
Yeah,
into that one.
it's a whirlwind. I think that it is important though, because I think it makes sense as to why I'm here, right? Like, obviously, you make sense. You're a doctor, but why am I here? I ask that all the time.
Well, I'd actually love to start with the why. Can you share your intention of sharing your story?
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a minute. Whoever called awkward giggle, you mark that spot on your bingo card. I want a bingo card. We do need a bingo card. Unfortunately, I don't have one for this one. Missed opportunities. All right, anyway, podcasts where the co-hosts interview each other. Pretty damn near every fucking podcast that has multiple co-hosts, especially within the first couple episodes. Literally all of my podcasts start with the first episode is usually a round robin, get to know you kind of a situation, and you interview each other so that everybody gets to know who the co-hosts are, so that you know why you should even be listening to the people in the first place. So there's nothing fucking special about this, by the way. Anyway, Dr. Oz is a doctor too. That is correct. That is also correct. She has diagnoses and treatments, yes. Oh, everything Anna does is important. I have been a guest host expert on a few podcasts, and I've never felt awkward or used my customer service voice. This is painful. And see, that's the thing. Anna's been interviewed for other things. Like, this isn't the first time Anna's been interviewed. And not just for, like, maybe it's the first time she's been interviewed for her weird medical miracle bullshit, but she was interviewed for, for Biggest Loser. She was interviewed about being interviewed for Biggest Loser. She's been on... I guess when I say interviewed, maybe they've all been like written reports and things. So maybe she's not ever had to do like voice interviews. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Ellie. My body and my journey. Her accent is very like... If I didn't know she was from Ohio, I would put her way farther north. The nervous yeah, it's an act. It is, yes. More drinking game. Yeah, the Novo Nordisk commercial, but that also was completely scripted, you know? And that's another example of where you can see what Anna sounds and acts like when she's in a completely scripted environment, because that's how she has these weird, awkward pauses that she thinks are what normal people sound like. Like, she puts that weird vocal fry into her voice that she doesn't normally have. She takes pauses where there doesn't need to be any. It's very strange, in my opinion. Yeah, it was visual, and it was a... and it was a interview. Any bets on inappropriate, creepy jokes? It's Anna, so probably. She'll probably work something stupid in there, or something like, "This is why I'm single." Her Hallmark video voice. Her Hallmark movie voice is better than this, honestly. You know, even when she was reading her book... Oof. Wait a second. Even when she was reading her book... her voice wasn't this weirdly performed. If anything, it was slightly robotic. Not AI robotic, but like not your typical Anna voice. Depends on if the doctor's into it. Yeah, how the fuck did these two meet? Anyway. Alright, we made it 1 minute. We can do it again. Anybody want to go make us a real quick bingo card? I will be more than happy to throw the link up in the chat. So if you want to go throw a bingo card together real fast, because this is definitely something that needs a bingo card.
So my intention with all of this, and even when this came across my plate as something potentially to do, it really is that I've been on a really long journey, right? And I would say that in some ways I'm not even at the end yet, but every step I've taken forward has significantly improved my life. And for a really long time, and we'll talk a little bit more about this when I, share my story, I was afraid to take the first step because of a lot of the noise surrounding me. And I think if I can encourage just one person to take a step towards feeling better and whatever that means for them, because it is incredibly personal, then it will have been worth it. And I think that women are in a lot of ways built to be afraid of medicine and doctors and seeking health. And we're sold so many other solutions that aren't really solutions, that I'm here to advocate and speak for the fact that there are doctors out there that care, and it may just take some work to find them.
Well, that
Okay, before Dr. Nance starts. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the medical world doesn't have a noticeable bias against women when it comes to medicine, right? We just got done talking about why don't I have a cure for cramps? Like, why is there not at least a pain pill for my cramps? But it's a joke, but it's not a joke. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's not true. I don't know if women are like actively taught to be afraid of medicine. I'm not personally. I am not afraid of medicine because I'm female. I'm afraid of medicine because I'm afraid of doctors in general, and needles and all of the other shit that goes along with that. I don't think that's because I'm female. I think I just have a mistrust of needles. Anyway, yeah, maybe I need to sit and examine that one a little bit more. My point is, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like what she said there isn't necessarily true. Anna's whole like finding doctors that are, you know, unless she starts talking about whoever the fuck her obesity doctor is and whoever it is who actually diagnosed her with lipedema is, the doctors we know that she sees are Karen Herbst and Amron. And you will not convince me that either of those doctors are interested in anything about Anna other than her bank account, right? Her follower count and her bank account. That's all they see when they see Anna, to be perfectly honest, in my opinion. What else did she just get done saying? Oh, and her like, oh, I hope that I can inspire someone to take that first step. Anna has to be a fucking inspiration. Like, Anna can't just go help herself, right? Anna's not, oh, I went and got medical help because I was tired of being sick. Anna's not like, oh, I went and started advocating for myself because I was tired of feeling like I was on death's door, or I got tired of not being able to walk, or I got tired of the way I felt. No, I want to be an inspiration for other people. That's the only reason you're getting healthy, is because you might inspire other people to do it. It feels like a weird reason to be doing something, in my opinion. You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm just bitter. I'm afraid of malpractice and being in the medical system as a neurodiverse person. Yeah, I mean, like, people have various reasons for being afraid of being in the medical system. I mean, the medical system just doesn't have a good rap to begin with. And people like fucking Dr. Nance and Nance over here and Dr. Amron and Dr. fucking Herbst don't help people who have questions and reservations about the fucking medical system, right? Yeah, she doesn't want to help others. She wants praise for helping others. All right, let's see. Let's do something before we get too far into this, because why not? Where's that site? Make a bingo card. I want to make a Canva card. I want to like a generated one. Bingo banker. I think that's the one Curvey uses. Bingo card generator. I wanna make a card. Build your own. Yes, I want to do that. How do I do this? How do I do this quickly? I don't want to have to read stuff. Build your own, okay. Untitled bingo. Let's say, Anna, what do we call this? Call this not spelling right. Glitter and laser. Lasers bingo. B-I-N-G-O. Okay, I gotta set that aside for right now. It's killing me. I'm too hot, I'm too cold, I'm too hot, I'm too cold. I'm cramping, I'm too cold. Let's see. Extra words, images. These will be mixed into your card above. All right, let's go. Let's see. We need a bunch of things to put into this bingo card. Enter your bingo card title, choose a size, type your words in the squares. Drag and drop images. We can put images. Nah, we're not going to do that. Generate your bingo cards. Click the generate button afterwards. You can print your bingo cards. Print 10 bingo cards. La 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 la. Play virtual bingo. Decide if you want to fix your words, images. Public. Only people who know the URL can access your card. Let's do that. Okay, never mind. We won't do that. Never mind. Alright, it's gonna be public. Screw it. I'll make you go away. There we go. Yay, got rid of that. Alright, give me some ideas for the okay, we got crying. That's the first thing I saw. Crying. For me. I feel like that should be the free space. Yes, she was actually, according to her, Rainy Day, she was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. She was being treated for it. Ellie, I don't need to be inspired. I go because I have questions. Exactly. Oh, Matthew, you're making the bingo card? All right. Let me know when you have the something for that. I'm good with this. Ah, shit. Almost dropped my awkward commenting on being single. Awkward spelling, that's what. Awkward. Hey, look. Awkward. Single comment. I feel like we need to put like awkward sexual sexual sure. Why can't we use real words like, you know, real adults? Ah. Oh, my body, yeah. My body. My journey. Yeah. Free space should be my journey. Yeah, you're right. My journey. Matt's on it. Matt's got stuff. Just keep. I'm on. This is the link. Oh no, Matt can't send a link. Crap. Where'd you send the link, Matt? Because Matt is not. Matt, send a link. If I make you a moderator briefly, and review and remove chat messages. I think if I make you a standard moderator, you can send a link real fast. You should be able to post a link now. Don't abuse this. I ran a 5K. Yes. I've been, oh yes, I've been open. I've been honest. It's hard. What are the other things she complains about? My bad. I love working out. Yes. Oh, come back. There it is. Vocal fry. Fake tears. This is good. I like this one. Where'd it go? There we go. The phrase, do the work. Oh, consistency. Need consistency on here. Inappropriate joke. Yes. I'm not on a diet. Unburnable fat. What else have we got in here? I've been doing everything right. Obscures the timeline. Stream lasts more than 2 hours. Hey. We're well on the road for that. In my body. It's a good one. This is a good one. I'm gonna gonna swap out Matt. Ooh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh yeah, flare-ups. We need flare-ups. Where'd Matt go? What happened? You come back. I was always in a calorie deficit, but still gained. Yeah, right. I think she does actually. I think I saw a spoiler comment. Well, we've got a little bingo card here. I don't know what happened there. But if it comes back, we'll grab that link again. Don't know what happened. Don't know why it happened. Alright, we've got a card. This will just make it more fun, because we really don't have anything. Oh wow, I've been cutting my head off the entire time. Heck yeah, bitches. Alright, let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Add another window. Sure. Bingo card. There we go. B-I-N-G-O. B-I-N-G-O. Where am I? Well, I guess I could put it right here because you can't really see anything else. B-I-N-G-O. And bingo was his name. Oh. Whatever, you guys can see this, it's fine. Feeling my best. Right. I don't know how I'm going to mark these off, but here we are. All right. Okay, let's go back to this. Would be nice to get through this sometime tonight. Wah, wah. What am I doing here? Don't know. Ah, yes. Let's hit play again. There we go.
A great way to start. So you mentioned that you started to notice kind of some changes in your body. When were you aware that your body was not the same as everyone else around you?
So the changes in my body really started to happen around puberty. I just started to gain weight, which was kind of unusual because I was always a really active kid. Like
Bitch, you got pictures up of you as, not to be offensive, but you were a chunky kid. Okay? So don't pull this puberty shit unless you went through puberty when you were like 9, which isn't impossible. Don't get me wrong. It's not impossible. I'm just calling bullshit. Go on.
they used to call the church doors the Anna doors because I was running in and out of them all the time, causing trouble.
I don't believe that for a minute.
And I used to do this dance where I would move my feet really fast because I just had so much energy. So it was.
This is also a point that Kim is pointing out. All of our bodies change around puberty. It's why it's called puberty. Anyway.
Puzzling to a lot of people, how was I gaining weight? And the first thing went to like, oh, she must be eating wrong, right? So I remember around that time when I...
Loke, are you on the Discord? Because just if you'll send me the link on the Discord, I'll throw it up here. That might be part of the problem. I don't know who's on the Discord and who isn't. I'm not trying to lure people onto the Discord.
Started to gain weight that my mom took me to this really shady doctor in the middle of nowhere. And I remember even as a little kid being like, this place is sketch. And went in.
Something I need you also to know about Anna and I. We are roughly the same age. So
there was like one of those little windows that they pulled open and I looked inside and the woman asked me like 3 questions. Not one of them was my age or my weight or anything like that. It was literally like, do you have a heart murmur? Do you have any of these other conditions, diabetes, I think? And this is like at 8 years old.
Well, then she probably didn't need to ask you your age if you were 8 years old. Because you probably looked like you were somewhere in the range of 8 to 10 years old. Anyway.
Shut the door, took me in. This older man gave me a speech about why I was awful because I was overweight. And then he wrote me a prescription for what I now know was Fen-Phen.
Bullshit. Anna says she was 8. She is 41 now. Anna is 41 in 2024. Well, she turned 41 in 2023. Where's my calculator? I'm going to do bad math. Bad math. So wait, 40 minus 8 is 32. 2023 minus 32 is 1991. 1991. Now we're gonna go do, this is what we call fact checking. This is what we call bad fact checking. Don't do this. Or maybe do this. 1990. Stop it. Fat fingers. Fan. Go. Okay, that's the Philippines. Thank you, Wikipedia. That's PubMed. Fen was drawn from the market in 1997. So it was on the market prior to 1997. When did it go on the market? Some of you may actually know this one. That's film. Thanks, Wikipedia. Still not helping. That's a city. Thank you. That's the year. Thank you, Wikipedia. Wikipedia is failing hard, man. That's a New York Times article. I don't know if I'll be able to read it. Nope. Sure can't. New York Times and your stupid fucking paywall. Here we go. Hang on. I found it. It was sold in the early 90s. Drawn in 97. But it was first introduced in the 1970s. Okay. And then in the 1990s, the two, okay, so at one point it was just the one, fenfluramine, and then they combined it with the phentermine in the 90s, and that's when we got the heart-stopping drug that we all know and love today. And that got yanked off the market in 1970 or 1997. But okay. So anyway, what are all of y'all saying? I just wanted to know timeline wise. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. All right, go.
So at 8 years old, I started taking fen, and wild.
Fen is a stimulant that was a popular kind of diet drug in the 90s, but it had significant side effects, mainly cardiac problems. So it is no longer used to treat obesity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the simplified version of it. I just read the Wikipedia article to you, but whatever.
Say that's
man, the 90s were the 90s, man. You can't beat the 90s. You really can't. The only thing better than the 90s were the 80s, and the 80s only beat the 90s because the 80s led to the 90s. So there you have that.
I mean, to look back at that now, and even to have had to do some things on my journey because of that, because now what we know what fen can do to the body, there were concerns about heart issues
Even in 91, though, I don't think they would have given fen to an 8-year-old. I just don't. I'm sorry. Even with wealthy, influential parents, like Lee was saying, where'd Lee's comment go? I could see a doctor giving weight loss drugs to a kid whose wealthy, influential parents asked for it. Fen was aggressive, right? It would be like, I'm not saying they wouldn't do it, but it would be like prescribing like speed, because they used to do that too, to an 8-year-old. You just wouldn't do that in the 90s. Sent me a DM about the case. Oh, yes. And Cloak sent me a thing. You did. Where is it? Oh, did you post it in? There we go. Thank you for that. Also, it jogged my mind. We're never getting through this podcast. Let's do this. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. Glitter and Lasers Medical Mystery. There we go. Good one too. Then all around. I don't know why I have California Girl stuck in my head, but I do. All right, here's Cloak and Cloak's link too. What happened to the other one? But here we go. So go, grab your cards, go. I think on this one, I think I can check things. Yeah, we can. Can I do it on this one? No, I can't. That's weird. Weird. What did I do wrong? All right. Well, I got that working. All right. Well, we had one card. Something went wrong. We got a new card. Thank you to both of you who created cards. And Kim sent me History of Fen-Phen and Redux, Understanding the Dangers of Diet. University of Rochester claimed the combination. Yeah. I know Fen-Phen is like stupid lethal. It appears the approved age group for Fen-Phen was age 16 or older. So yeah, I just don't believe Anna was. It's like Amber in her fucking. I was on Weight Watchers when I was 10 years old. I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't have been. I just don't believe that you were. Like, the possibility is there. I just don't believe it.
I was pursuing other things down the road. So I don't know why that was okay. I don't know why it was so casual. I think I'm still coming to terms with why my parents thought that was okay to do. But regardless.
I mean, going off of the book you wrote, your parents were incredibly non-present and looked for quick and easy solutions to problems. And that clearly rubbed off on you because that's what I see you do. But anyway.
Regardless of it, I was put on that. And I lost some weight, but not really. And I just remember during that period of my life that every once in a while I would get to eat normal food. So my mom, I remember, threw everything away in the house, like had this big menagerie where like everything that, in my opinion at the time, tasted good was in the garbage. We were left with like brown rice, flavorless chicken, shredded wheat, and vegetables. That's it. And I remember, and I have this very vivid memory of when I...
Here's the thing she's not mentioning, though. Her mom was overweight. Her mom passed away from obesity-related complications. Anna herself has said this. So, if her mom really did run this strict granola household, A, how is Anna fat? And B, how is her mom obese? And her dad isn't svelte. And then her sister, her older sister, who was an athlete, also passed away from obesity-related conditions or complications. Again, Anna's own admission. So if all of this is true, how are all these people dropping dead of obesity if they were living in a house that they only ate vegetables and shredded wheat? You know, shit just doesn't add up. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being hypercritical. Probably I'm not, though.
Was about, I want to say 10 or 11. I went to my friend Nikki S's house and her mom made me a cheeseburger. And I remember sitting there eating that cheeseburger being like, this is the best thing I've ever had in my entire life. This cheeseburger, wow. And this like cheese, it wasn't even probably that good of a cheeseburger, but because I'd eaten such terrible food for like a while.
Like we're talking In-N-Out cheeseburger or...
Yeah, like it was probably like McDonald's cheeseburger, but I just remember being like, oh my God. I was like, my life has forever changed. Like music.
To be fair, McDonald's in the 90s was way better than McDonald's today. All right, this is your chair. This is where you sit. No, you don't stand on my slime. You sit in the chair. Thank you. No, 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 no. Back your ass up. There you go. Good boy. All right, stay. No, don't lick me. Stay. Stay. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Yes. We're working on this. Yes, we are. Varying degrees of success. Yeah. Is it? You got an hour before it's anywhere close to dinner time. All right. Anyway. Your adoring public, I'm sure, is saying very nice things about you because they're fools. Oh yes, yeah. I will stand by it. McDonald's in the 90s was better than McDonald's today. 90s McDonald's was alpha. And what Una said earlier, I wasn't ignoring it. No. Yeah, you can go to a shady doctor, and shady doctors existed. I mean, they still do. I mean, obviously they still do. But I don't know. I just don't. Fen-phen was a rough drug to begin with. I don't know. I suppose we could go into this with a couple different angles. We can go into this and take everything Anna says as factual, actual truth. Or we can go into this questioning everything Anna says because we have an idea of how Anna has told her story in the past. Because we have Anna's 2012 to 2015 blog where she was trying to lose weight, and she started it right after she applied for Biggest Loser. And then she also wrote her book, A Life Full of Glitter, published it in 2018. And in that, she shared quite a few childhood stories as well. Many of them not revolving around her weight, but mentioning her struggles with her weight. Are you getting down? Are you getting down? I love you. That's not where cat butts go. I love you very much. So that's the thing. Like, we can listen to this story as if we have never met or interacted with Anna before in our lives, or we can interact with this podcast as as the informed viewers of Anna, aka Glitter and Lasers, that we are. Or, some of us are coming into this for the first time. Well, that's the thing, horse and rider wellness. I mean, McDonald's was fast food, but it wasn't always like, I don't know how to describe it. Fast food wasn't always just abject shit. It was at one point real, actual food. Not anymore. Don't get me wrong. Not anymore. And it was never healthy. I don't know how to explain it. But it also wasn't always just basically food-flavored chemicals. Cloak and Cloak, I always question everything Anna says. Yeah, exactly. She's a very unreliable narrator. And her story changes to fit who she thinks her audience is at the time. All of it was better. Yeah, Pink Slime was still Pink Slime, don't get me wrong. They coined pink slime. Fast food used to at least be food. Yeah, exactly. I'm not claiming it was healthy. Gotta love that delicious horse meat. Have we hit anything on here? My flare-ups, mentioning, crying for me. We haven't gotten any of these yet. Wibbly wobbly timeline. Meg's joke. I like being strong. Look what I can do. All right. Hey, we made it 8 minutes. I'm going to let this play.
Played, lights flashed, like it was like this amazing thing. And I didn't die. There were no issues, and I just had a normal day. And I remember
Sorry, I have to back it up because I have no idea what the fuck she
like
was
go to a
talking about.
cheeseburger, but because I'd eaten such
Oh, here we go.
terrible food for like a while.
Like we're talking In-N-Out cheeseburger or
Yeah, like it was probably like McDonald's cheeseburger, but I just remember being like, oh my God. I was like, my life has forever changed. Like music played, lights flashed. Like it was like this amazing thing. And I didn't die. There were no issues. And I just had a normal day. And I remember that up until that point, I had a really weird relationship between pleasing my parents and losing weight. Like I felt every time I got on the scale that I was a little bit of a failure because I wasn't losing as quickly as they thought I should have been losing taking fen-phen, but I was starving and still very active. So what ended up happening is life was just kind of, bleak. And so I stopped, I would say in a little bit, I stopped being as active because I had no freaking energy. And my body started to change because I wasn't the same active person I was before.
Okay, so she hit puberty, magically started becoming fat. Her mom took her to shady Dr. X, who put her on fen-phen at the age of 8. Am I right? Am I confusing my girls? Anyway, so Anna hit puberty at 8. Right. Was on fen-phen from 8 until whatever age she's talking about here. All right, and she had been the most active person on the planet that had ever existed. Her mother would only let her eat vegetables, shredded wheat, and dry-ass chicken breast. But because she was starving because of the fen-phen and the lack of food, she became inactive because she didn't have any more energy. And that's why she started to become fat again. So were you fat before you were taking the fen-phen? Did your mom just preemptively put you on fen-phen? She was like, well, you're 8 now. Now you must join the fen-phen clan. Was it like some people in birth control? You're 13. You're on birth control. End of discussion. Like, what was the... Why... This doesn't make sense. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't make sense. Why did your mom put you on fen-phen? If we're going to believe that you were put on fen-phen, why did your mom put you on fen-phen at the age of 8 if you were active and you were eating enough food that you were not enough food that you were starving? Why were you on fen-phen then? And if you were on fen-phen and you were also being starved, how could you possibly have been putting on weight even at an inactive lifestyle? Because calories are what make you fat. If you are not eating enough and you are also starving from the age of 8 until whatever age you're claiming to be at this point, how could you possibly have gained weight? These are the years of your life where your metabolism is the fastest. What the fuck is going on? This doesn't make any sense. It makes even less sense the longer you tell this story. So you're on fen-phen and you're being starved, but you quit being active, so you're fat. That's not how it works, Anna. That's just not how it works. And the church doors were called Anna doors. Yeah, exactly. Because apparently you lived in a church. She's a medical mystery Marvel victim, anything else. Exactly. Yeah, it makes no sense, Rocky. Was this story? No, this story was not in her book, and as far as I know, it's not on our website. You belong to our family, and at 8, you must go on diet checks. Exactly. Hello, Curvey. We were just talking about you. I feel like even the most, oblivious parent would still take you to the doctor if this was truly the case. It's not the shady doctor in the back alley. She hides behind fitness and how active she is, as if that's a shield somehow. As a fat person myself, I don't understand her lack of perception of herself. Can't think of the word right now. Self-awareness? I'm sure she's using starving to mean hungry. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she is too, especially since she's like, oh, I ate a cheeseburger and I saw lights and heard the angels sing. Hi, Dolce. Glad you stopped in. She's literally starving. There's Matt. He's back. 8 is a big age in Mormonism. As you get baptized, then an image is also a big deal to Mormons. Perfect storm for her parents noticing it was becoming a problem. Probably. Still, let's pretend like she really was put on fen at 8. How the fuck is she gaining weight? Fen is an appetite suppressant and stimulant. Exactly. It basically does what Ozempic does, only not in a good way. Yeah, she's either sneaking a lot of food or something doesn't add up. Yeah, her description of the burger screamed food addict. Yeah, we got both Matthew and Curvey made a and Matthew, I'm not being mean. I'm just gonna take the thingy away. Don't take offense to this. Okay, maybe I'm not going to do that because I don't know how to. Well, all right then. I'll get around to that later because I will forget. Anyway.
And I started to put on weight instead of losing it. And I think at this point, a lot of the articles and stuff that came out about fen, you know, we all got off of it because it wasn't legal anymore. So
you're going to claim that you were taking fen from 91 till 97. So you were on fen for 6 years. So from the age of 8 until 14, you were taking fen and starving and gaining weight. Okay, that's the story. I have never heard her tell or mention this story before. This is the first time Anna has ever told or even mentioned this story, to my knowledge. That doesn't mean it hasn't come up. It's just the first time I have ever heard this. So, Jesus doesn't like fat girls. Well, she did say her grandmother told her that, so.
Basically, I gained a bunch of weight and I kind of just accepted it. In my 20s, I moved on from my parents. I moved into a really amazing group of friends. And I think that every friend group goes through this. I mean, I hope they still don't go through it. But back when I was in my 20s, everybody went through it, which was like the collective culture where girls got together and dieted together.
Never mentioned this in her book. Never mentioned this on her blog. As a matter of fact, the way she makes it sound in her book, she only had one friend when she turned 20 and she went to college. And she was living in a Spanish-speaking dorm for some reason. It was like an immersion house. She was living there. This is according to her book. This is the story where she eventually reconnected with the one and only friend she had because this was the only person who could tolerate her weirdness. And then they went out one night and Anna tipped over the scooter that they were riding on, and the friend never talked to her again after that. So now Anna's changing the story to, oh, I had this amazing group of friends when I was 20 and we're all dieting together. So which is it, Anna? Did you have an amazing group of friends when you were 20, or did you have one friend who was the only person who could tolerate you? You've told both stories now with your own mouth.
So we did the thing that everybody
Ashley, yes,
seemed
Sora,
to do,
Ashley.
which was join Weight Watchers, right? You know, we all got together.
And she's never talked about being on Weight Watchers before. I'm not saying she hasn't been on Weight Watchers. I'm just saying she's never talked about that before either.
We'd go to our group meetings together. We would support each other. We'd share recipes. We'd weigh in. And honestly, I built my friendships around losing weight. And that's a really weird dynamic, right? Where that success in losing weight was also like a success of friendship. When it doesn't work for you as simple as that, it's almost like you're a failure in your.
That's fair, Allie. She could have made friends because Because she started school the year before Ashley did. So, well, according to her book, Ashley's not the girl's real name, probably. So she would have been a freshman living in the immersion home. So what comes after freshman? Sophomore. She was a sophomore when Ashley was a freshman. They had a falling out Ashley's freshman year. And, I mean, Anna would have been like 2021 during that time period. So, yeah, I mean, she would have been in her 20s. She could have made friends in college, yes. I'm just, pointing things out as I remember them, as I recall them. Anna's never mentioned college friends. She's never mentioned... Oh, okay, no. There is that one girl that was a roommate from college, but I think that was her roommate from Columbia? Not Brown? Or Brigham, whatever the first college she went to was. I think the roommate that she, snapped at one day because the roommate told her she was a slob, I think that roommate was from her last college. Anyway. Tracy, yeah. Tracy.
Friendship dynamic, which is something that I'm honestly, I don't know if I realized until I just started talking about this part of it, but I think as we fast forward and I stopped losing weight, I lost about 100 pounds that way just by literally getting active as part of this Weight Watchers group. And I would go to Soul Cycle with these girls. I would run to Soul Cycle, do 1 to 2 Soul Cycle classes and run back.
She didn't do Soul Cycle until 2012. She was out of college by then. How old was she in 2012? She was in her 30s. And I know that's true because she said she was going to, because when she mentioned Soul Cycle on her blog, she said it was her first Soul Cycle class that she had ever attended, and she was scared to go to it because she had all of these negative thoughts, negative images of what girls at Soul Cycle were like. No. Okay, she was 28. But she was out of college. All right. Whatever. Yep, this does count as wibbly wobbly. We will definitely chalk this up to wibbly wobbly. I'm sorry. Where's our little... Where's wibbly wobbly? Yeah, no. Look what I can do. Did we miss any other ones? Soul Cycle is expensive as fuck. That I don't know. Yeah, she's 40. She'll be 41 this year. Anything can be real if you lie. That's true. We can all agree that a lie told frequently enough becomes the truth.
Walking to work, so I would walk from Brooklyn to Midtown Manhattan, which is about a 4-mile walk, and I would walk there and back. Before. And I started just becoming really, really active.
But this wasn't when she was in college. This is when she was working at the job at the one place. Before she got data. She didn't have data yet.
Again, I never was like a binge eater or an overeater, so it kind of was like my activity.
I was never a binger or an overeater. You've literally written blog posts about how you were binging and overeating and couldn't resist the call of those orange cupcakes, Hostess orange cupcakes, which I will agree with you are pretty damn tasty. But you have an entire blog post about how you could not resist buying them because you are a food addict. You said those with your own typed words.
Just jumped up, and that's where the weight went. But then it stopped. I had lost weight and gained weight before, But this was very different because I was gaining weight while still maintaining a really healthy
And
lifestyle.
that was a shitty
So
edit.
I was still going to spin class. I was still running. I was still eating healthy. I was still walking to and from work. So it didn't make sense that I was gaining weight back. I honestly,
She wasn't gaining weight at this time. She says so in her art. She never mentions gaining weight in her blog posts at this time. This is 2012 she's talking about. She was walking to and from work. She was going to Soul Cycle. She had made friends at Soul Cycle because there's posts not only on her blog from the people that she made friends with, but also on her Instagram. What was the other thing? She had taken up running, and she was doing. Did she start? No, she didn't do yoga until later. But the whole 2012, she was talking about all the weight she was losing. She was progressively losing weight through 2012. And that was with, eating the orange cupcakes. Okay? This was with her little lapses in her diet. So she was losing weight. She wasn't like progressively gaining weight like she's saying. Unless she was lying the entire 2012. Which, I mean, is entirely possible because she has to be lying one of these times. Anyway.
didn't know what to think. I felt very cheated. I felt very angry because I felt like I did everything right and this is my predicament. So like
That was on here, wasn't it? Bigger body. Open about my journey. Done everything I can. No, that's the wrong one. I can do my body inappropriate jokes. We might come back to that one. I think it was an option that we had was I've done everything right. Someone else might have it. Anyway. I know it was an option. Anyway.
what the hell? What the hell? And I did start to feel, and I don't think I've ever admitted this
Her editor shit. That sound, because I can tell exactly where these cuts are.
to myself until this podcast, which is a little bit wild. But I think I started to isolate myself because I was embarrassed that I wasn't able to keep up with my friends who were making, oh God, already crying, who were making all of these
Crying. Check.
amazing changes in their life. And I was making the same changes, but not seeing the same success. So you begin to build this mental capacity of like, I must be lying to myself. I must be a failure. I don't want to have the conversation about why isn't it working. And I don't even know if my friends judged me in that way, but I judged myself in that way because I built my entire community and friendship around managing weight. And then
I wonder, I mean, in the off chance that she's telling any truth here, I wonder if she's talking about whoever Lasers was, because the blog when it started in 2012 was her as Glitter, and she had a friend whose name was Lasers. And Lasers was a guy who was successfully losing weight and keeping it off, and he dropped off the blog pretty early, actually. And Anna maintained the blog, obviously. So when she's talking here about how, like, the friendship fell apart because she wasn't losing weight and they were, I wonder if she's talking about Lasers. Oops, there we go.
couldn't be successful in that friendship because I wasn't losing weight anymore. I even felt that way partially in my job. Like it's wild to think, when I'm really honest with myself, how much that inability to achieve that goal really messed me up.
Well, I think which obesity as a medical term,
Yeah.
right, and label carries an unwarranted moral judgment to it.
I'm really tired of the fat acceptance community desperately trying to attach moral judgment to the word obesity. And they're it's not the rest of the world. It's the fat acceptance community that is desperately trying to moralize the word obesity, the concept of obesity, and they're constantly trying to moralize good and bad foods. Like, they are the ones that are pushing it harder than everyone I've ever seen, with maybe the exception of Alan Roberts. But that's in, like, even in that aspect, Alan is reacting to the fat acceptance movement in that aspect, right? So, I mean, using Alan as an example, yes, there are people outside of the fat acceptance community that will do it. It's just, in my day-to-day, the only people I really see do it are the fat acceptance people, right? And they're always like, oh, moral judgment this and moral judgment that. And I'm like, you guys seem to be way more judgy and way more concerned about the moral aspects of obesity and food than literally anyone else. So who are the ones who are attaching morality to obesity and the concept of obesity and the term obesity? Is it your doctor who's using it medically, or is it you who have turned it into a philosophical term and can't seem to get past the fact that you don't just absorb air calories and become 400 to 600 pounds? It just doesn't happen like that, because that's not how reality works. I have no idea who Lasers was. He dipped out of the podcast. He dipped out of the blog pretty early. I have purposefully not looked him up, and I would encourage people to not do so. He clearly does not want to be known. So I would just say, let the man be. I'm sure it's entirely possible to figure out who the guy is, but I would just say maybe not do that. There's nothing's going to be gained from figuring out who he is. Anyway. Yeah, we don't have to censor the word obesity here. This is an obesity-friendly place. You weren't succeeding at your jobs because you were painting your nails at your desk. Yeah, well... Yeah, we're judging you because you're a damn liar. Prescriptions for fen-phen started being filled in 19... Well, we did a little bit of digging, Annie, and yes, they were prescribing fen-phen as far back as like 1990, 1991. So there is precedence for that. They stopped in 1997 because people were getting sued because people were dying. So fat and food were absolutely moralized by 90s diet culture. True. And I think that's the problem with fat acceptance, is you've got all of these like people that didn't live through the 90s who are like romanticizing the 90s and the 90s diet culture, and it's like, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Not to be mean or anything, diet culture sucked, but at the same time, like, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't mean to be mean, but it's just like, anyway, diet culture from the 90s is nothing like diet culture today. If anything, I kind of feel like it's worse today, but probably because it was shit in the 90s and we never really addressed it, but here we are. But is it Thickums friendly? Yes, it is Thickums friendly. I honestly do not care if you want to be a Thickums or not. I just don't want you to get on here and spit bullshit and lie. You want to be big? You be big. You be big, you be beautiful, you do what you want to do. I don't give a shit. I just don't want you getting on here and being like, I'm just as healthy as everyone else. You're not. You're just not. If that's how you want to live, that's fine. It's your life. I can't do anything for you, but, you know. If she lost weight naturally, surgery, or injections, would she continue to be a, quote, influencer? Well, I mean, she takes medication to lose weight, so yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Bright Balloon, but yeah, the song is a bit catchy. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a Thickums, really. I really don't have a problem with it. All right, anyway. I knew this was going to piss me off. Anyway, onward.
That does not apply to other medical conditions.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to sit here and tell me that there's a moral judgment that is put on the term obesity, and no other medical term has a moral judgment attached to it. Do you really want me to sit here and go over terms that are going to get me demonetized that are medical fucking terms that very well have moral judgment attached to them. Do you really want to fucking play this game, Dr. Nance? I cannot believe you just said that out loud. I'm pretty sure most of you in here can come up with terms, because probably some of you qualify for those terms. Okay. But it's okay, guys. The only medical term that gets morally judged is obesity. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All that moral judgment that you've been suffering because of whatever term that you have to deal with in your life, it's just a fantasy. It's not real. Dr. Nance said so, therefore it must be true. Yeah, schizophrenia would like to talk with you. BPD would like to talk with you. Asperger's would like to talk with you. Depression would like to talk with you. Fuck, infertility would like to talk with you. Just seriously. God damn, really? Really? You really said that out loud? Okay, alright, cool. Uh-huh. You're right. Right, exactly. Jesus Christ. Yeah, originally she was, I think it was Hillary said, who just went away. Yeah, she was originally a fashion influencer, and she still sometimes pretends like she is. Menopause? Yeah, seriously. Saucy, yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, yeah, Annie. Let us not forget, please. Susan, yeah, good point. Any addiction? God. Yeah, exactly. K-Buns. Not me erasing all the medical conditions I just read out. Yeah. And these are just, y'all are just posting the terms that we're allowed to say today. I'm thinking about terms that we don't even use anymore because we decided that there was too much moral judgment, or just like they were not good terms to say, right? Okay. STIs, yeah, exactly. Hysteria, exactly. Delusional, exactly. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Anna's fashion choices, but Anna does have, or did have, a very distinct style, and I know a lot of people do like it, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's one of the reasons why I refuse to, yeah, the R word. It's one of the reasons why I don't like reacting to her fashion hauls. Not necessarily because I have anything against them. I know I'm not going to like what she's going to show. It's kind of like, if I don't like peanut butter, why am I going to eat peanut butter? I know I don't like it. It doesn't mean I think her fashion's bad. It's just not my thing. But I know a lot of people really do like it, right? Who's the girl I do like? Rosie Beam. I love Rosie Beam's stuff. Like her and we are on the same page fashion-wise. I love her shit. So, you know, and she's a plus size fashionista as well. So, yeah, Cancer, yeah. Yeah, we don't say that one out loudly. Anyway. Back to the podcast. We're 13 minutes in. We're never getting through this. You guys are going to have to watch the rest of this on your own.
I think that there is a lot of stigma about obesity. I think there's a lot of stigma about bodies in general and what visual cues they give us.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Regardless of whether you're plus size or you use a wheelchair, people are going to assume an inordinate amount of things about you based on that visual picture.
I can't do this, guys. I can't do this. I cannot. I'm sorry. I don't know how much more of this I can literally get through. It infuriates me to the point of having the shakes when fat acceptance and health at every size starts comparing themselves to disabled people. Because 90% of the time, the people... Anna is not disabled. I mean, she might be now, But it's because Anna made herself that way. Anna was not born with a disability. Okay? But Anna wants you to classify her, and she wants the protections and the, what is it? She wants the same stuff that disabled people, what's the word I'm looking for? Accommodations. She wants the same accommodations that disabled people get for their disabilities, because she wants you to treat her like she's disabled when she's not. But Fat Acceptance and Health at Every Size they want you to treat them and they want to be disabled even though they are not. I don't know how to explain it, but that infuriates the living shit out of me. Anyway. Actually, yeah, they like to compare themselves to actually disadvantaged and oppressed peoples because they've made themselves that way. They're not that way, right? Yeah, clout's good. They want the same, like, victim status. Victim's not really the best word, but that's how they see it. Look, if you want to be a pain in the ass because you've got a disability and you need an accommodation, you knock yourself out. Anna is not and does not need accommodations, right? Anyway, but she wants them. It's just like, dude, anyway. If she does the hat trick of comparing herself to, like, actually marginalized racial groups, I'm gonna I'm gonna lose my shit.
And as much as you may be different than that visual picture,
we should all just be pains in the asses just on general principle. So
you are never given the benefit of the doubt. In fact, you're always climbing back from a negative assumption. The hardest part about not losing weight for me is that I didn't know what else to fix. And I think the automatic
your diet
reaction to me was just to do more. But then what happens is you do more and, I would eat less and less. I would work out more and more. And I would say, honestly,
you don't lose weight working out.
Running to SoulCycle, doing 2 classes and running back is probably not healthy behavior. It's just,
you never mentioned doing that before. So, okay, whatever. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying this is the first time we've heard you say this.
It's not. And there was one point in my life where I would have been proud of that. Would have been like, look at all the exercise I was doing. But the reality is like, I was trying to compensate for what my body wasn't doing. And I thought, well, maybe if I just pushed harder, maybe if I just did more, it would change. And then when it didn't, I really did feel like a failure. I also felt like I was delusional. I think that's a really good word for...
You lost weight in 2012. You lost somewhere around 80 pounds. You were losing weight in 2012 and 2013, which is what you're talking about right now. What the you are rewriting your literal history. And you think you can get away with it because you think you've buried that fucking blog of yours. But it's been recorded on the way back. You can't hide this, Anna. You are lying. We can prove it. Jesus Christ.
For my whole entire journey is like, maybe I'm lying to myself.
You are lying,
like maybe
right now.
I am eating all of these things. Maybe my calorie counting is off. Maybe I'm not exercising as hard as I think I am. Maybe I'm not going fast enough on that bike. So it becomes this constant internal, like, what can I do more? Until you just break down and give up. And that's essentially what happened.
She dropped off the planet around 2015. I don't know why yet, but I suspect it had something to do with her losing her job, because regardless of if she was losing weight or not, she was still fucking insufferable. All right? So I'm pretty sure she lost her job over that. But I haven't gotten that far in her blog yet. Damn sure I'm going to be catching up now. But anyway... Oh my God. She talks about in her 2012 blog in her 2013 blog about difficulties with food, but she admits that she's a food addict. She admits that she has issues with food. She admits that she has all of these various strategies for dealing with the problems that she has with food. She shares recipes that she's making. They're actually fairly decent recipes. They're not like the bullshit recipes that she was pulling the past year. Just the way I like it. Crap. Okay? I don't know what the hell she's talking about here. She talks about loving going to SoulCycle. She talks about going out with friends to purposefully do things that require walking and physical activity as opposed to food, because she wanted to socialize around activity and not around food. Okay, like, she is completely rewriting her past here. Like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Anyway. Yeah, Clevermore, dear Anna, the internet is forever. She must really not understand that. She must not know that she got archived and that her 2012 blog really did get archived. Or she must not be watching my vlogs. Because yeah, no, this is not true whatsoever. This is complete revisionism. And she feels very comfortable doing it. Which tells me she does not know that she could very easily be fact-checked in this shit. Whatever. Keep going. I don't even need to be here doing it, Kim. Anybody can. Like, any single one of you can be doing this because, like, none of it makes sense. She loves to swim, Cozy J. That's the thing. Not only does she like to swim, she's decent at it. I mean, she's not like an Olympic swimmer, but she doesn't doggy paddle everywhere. I mean, I don't remember most of what I wrote in 2012 either, but I'm not... Somebody comes at me and is like, hey, I'll be like, oh, damn, okay. I'm not gonna sit here and try to rewrite my fucking life anyway. Oh my God. On the upside, my cramps have stopped.
Finally was like, this is too freaking much. I'm done. And I started to feel just unconnected to my friends. So I dove into work. I would work constantly. I would sleep in the office. And in line with that, we were testing a new piece of software that was for content management for social media. We needed to test that software. I was like, well, I'll just make some Instagram content. We'll see if that does well. I don't really care. It's all about the job. And anyone who knows me knows that I am a somewhat recovering workaholic. I'm still working on it, but it is who I am. So I became really good at regularly posting, at trying different things, because I was trying to...
I know she likes to say that.
Test this software that helped brands and companies do that. Well, I worked really hard, and because of that, I inadvertently grew a following on social media.
God, you guys, it was just such it was such an accident. I totally didn't mean to do it. It just happened serendipitously. Oh my God. Anna started her Instagram the same year she started her vlog. Sorry, her blog. So she had her Instagram back in 2012. She started her Instagram in 2012, the same year she started her blog. Now, she started her blog in 2012, the day after she applied for and did not get onto The Biggest Loser. Not a big deal. I don't want people to judge her for not getting on The Biggest Loser. Okay? 2012 Anna is a totally different person. Like, there's definitely similarities. Definitely. But the mentality and the go-getiveness of 2012 and 2013 and 2014 Anna is completely different than this Anna. Right? 2012 Anna, 2013 Anna, totally taking responsibility for themselves, totally trying to like change their lives, totally trying to like get healthy, admitting that they have issues, you know, doing the damn thing. Not like this Anna, who's a fucking medical miracle, pulls calories out of the air, gains weight while on fen and starving at the age of 14. Sure, Anna. Anyway. So, anyway, when Anna switched her content over from weight loss to Bopo shit, which is around the time she started doing her plus size fashionista stuff, she went back through her Instagram and scrubbed her Instagram. And she went back on her blog and deleted everything from like 2015 back. So all of that's on archive. All of that's on the way back. And so not everything from her blog is on archive. I think the majority of it is, but like as far as her Instagram, I know there's shit missing. But the Instagram's a lot harder to archive. So that being said, I know it corresponds because I know that there's posts from her 2012 blog that are on her Instagram. Because she would post food recipes and things like that. And if there were trips, things that didn't have to do with weight loss, she left up on her Instagram from 2012. Once she started doing her fashionista bopo shit, that's pretty much constant. Now, we know Anna deletes. We know from modern behavior that Anna deletes. So there's no reason to think that from that past Anna also deleted whenever there was something problematic or something she didn't want preserved. And again, Instagram's a lot harder to archive, like with the Wayback, than a blog is. All right, or I don't know how archiving YouTube works because I haven't dipped into that yet. I'm sure we will eventually. But her YouTube didn't exist until 2017. I want to say 2017. I could be wrong. Puberty's hard on everyone, Kim. Name one person that didn't have a shit puberty, okay? Anyway. Where was I going with this timeline crap? I don't know. Oh, Lucy. It doesn't work for me, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the advice. I get you, though. I love swimming, too. Oh, the rage tapes the crap because they work together. She didn't travel too much in her early working career. Oh, that was what it was. The whole accidentally becoming popular on Instagram. She may have been testing this software. I don't know. I can't tell you yet. But she had the Instagram before she started building a following. Okay? She didn't start building a real following until she started doing the fashionista stuff. Now, that might correspond with her quote-unquote testing this software, but I don't know. And she's never talked about it before in her book or anything else. So if it's not in her blog, and because I haven't gotten to it yet. So if it's not in her blog, she's never talked about this before. So I don't know. But again, if it's something that was like proprietal to her job, I could understand why she's never talked about it before. If that makes any sense. So at least, I don't know. Yeah, Mammy Bell. Anna lies, basically. Either now and or then. Anna has to be lying at some point because her stories don't line up. That's how this works. She is lying at some point. Body hair and period cramps. Amen, Saucy Broche. Amen. Yes, there's a bingo card somewhere. I can repost it. Well, Lucy Jane, that song's in Anna's head as well.
Trying to test new technology. And it started off kind of slow. I remember I had like 10,000 followers, maybe in the first couple months. And I was like blown away by that. I was like, I've made it big. But I had no clue what that would lead to. You start with the 10K and then it's 20K and then it's 50K and then
I love my 10K, by the way. Every single one of you.
It's 100K and then it's, oh my God, 200,000 people follow me.
If 200,000 people follow me, I'm going to literally shit a gold brick, and that will be very painful. I just want to put that out there. So, maybe don't have 200,000 people following me. I'm just saying.
But that also means that there is a lot of people who feel like they have a say in my life for good and for bad. Being in a bigger body is very polarizing, and sometimes that's just enough. That just existing in a bigger body and not apologizing for it is enough of a reason to hate me. And one day I was a nobody, and all of the sudden I was like enemy number one to some people. And I think that's when I know.
I'm not going to say that she doesn't get hate simply because she's a bigger girl, because I'm not going to pretend like that shit doesn't happen. It's the same thing when Amber says it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there aren't people out there that just hate on them because they're big, because there are. When it comes to Amber, the majority of the hate she gets does not seem to revolve around her overall size, though I do see some, right? And I know what it looks like because I see the comments. Anna curates the fuck out of her comment sections, so it's always very skewed to see exactly what is actually being said to Anna. She may be getting 90% comments that are just heinous comments about her appearance and her weight, which I would chalk that up to being hate comments based on her weight, right? So that's how I would classify that. When I go onto her YouTube channel, because that's the only channels now where she's not heavily curating things, because she's blocked me on Instagram and I'm too lazy to go on with another channel. When I do see negative-ish comments, though, they're questioning things like, what's your diet look like? Should you be running at that size? Are you sure this is good for you? Things like, are you sure what you're being told about lipedema is correct? I too have lipedema. I've never been told this. This is not the treatment my doctors gave me for lipedema. This seems strange. Even people who are like, hey, I've never heard of this. Can you tell me more about it? She'll block those people. That's a perfectly innocent question. Maybe the person is asking it out of maliciousness, but maybe they are genuinely wanting to know about Anna's treatments because they themselves have never had that option, you know? But if you if you do not say something to the effect of, yes, queen, you are such an inspiration. If you're not saying that, Anna deletes your comment and blocks you. God forbid you actually try to hold her accountable or responsible for anything. Like, hey, why didn't you ever mention you were on weight loss drugs until when you went off of them? Or are you sure you're going back on Wegovy for inflammation only purposes? There are other ways to treat inflammation. You know, it's that kind of shit. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Anna doesn't get hate because of the way she looks. But I am going to say the hate that I see is mostly just questioning the shit she says and the things that she does. Now, she's not as bad as Anna. I know some people really hate Anna, and some people say they hate Anna more than they hate Amber. I don't think Anna's that bad. But, you know, it's just, also she did mentions haters. So, I don't know. I lost my train of thought, if that wasn't obvious.
Noticed. Actually, if I have to be incredibly honest, the time where I realized my life had been changed by this forever is I posted a picture of myself in a swimsuit. Just a normal picture, just me on a beach. And Gillette, the company, asked me if they could use it to just repost. And again, at this point, I didn't know anything about making money. I wasn't making any money. And I was like, sure, you can repost this. I don't care. They ended up using it. It ended up getting in the wrong hands and it became international news.
Well, okay, since she's mentioning this fucking photo shoot in New York City, you can mark this one as body shaming, but I took the other one as haters, a cloak and cloak. So she's definitely hitting all the highlights. Was body shaming on them? Oh, I have body shaming on there. I'm gonna hit play while I go dig for it. She's talking about that picture of her in a bathing suit in the middle of Times Square where she's like, and that's the one where the first time she ever advertised for Better Health. Better Help? Whatever the therapy one is. The first time she ever advertised for them, she was talking about all of the mental anguish and PTSD she went through because she got hate comments about that picture from the New York Times, I think it was, that used it.
People saying that a plus size person should not be used in advertising for a product like a razor. And it ended up to someone doing a podcast about whether or not plus size people should be in advertising. It was a very, very popular podcast. I'm not going to name it specifically, but they had a long discussion about whether I should be seen or whether or not people like me should be seen. And it led to me actually getting attacked on a sidewalk. And
Anna has a story moment that I keep meaning to watch, and I haven't gotten around to it yet, because she has alluded to it before here and there in her book about how she was in a knife fight. And I always just roll my eyes at it because I've never listened to the whole story. So I'm wondering if this is it. I was attacked because of this podcast. Were you, though? Did they come running at you and they were like, I listened to such and such podcast? Rah! Do you know for sure that that's what happened? What podcast is she talking about anyway? I don't care.
And it's part of the reason I left New York. So I think that's when it clicked. That
God, I have to stop. God, I know way too fucking much about this woman's life. Anna claims that she left New York to move to Texas because she couldn't walk her dog down the street without people stopping her to comment on how they had read or watched her, that they could recognize her from her social media. So she left New York not because she got attacked, according to her in the past, but because she had become so recognizable by people on the streets that she couldn't even walk her dog in peace. That was Anna's initial real reason for moving out of New York. Because she was just too popular. She was just too famous, you guys. So famous. So she couldn't even walk Data in the park without somebody coming up and telling her good job getting out there. So she moved to Texas. Because that's what you do. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe she did get attacked. Maybe that would scare the living crap out of her, I suppose. And so she was like, I know the best place to go is Texas. It's just exactly like New York.
I was, in a lot of ways, powerful. Because if I could make somebody this angry, then, like, that's pretty powerful. But also, I had to think about my life in a very different way. I had to protect myself. And I had to learn to navigate in this world where people knew who I was and had an opinion about me. I also started to get very...
People know who I am, and they have opinions about me, too. I have been recognized on the street as well. I'm being a dick. I'm sorry, I'm being a dick. I have been doxxed. I have been threatened with legal action on at least 3 occasions, one of which almost went to court. That guy was a fucking idiot. I'm just saying, I have never in my life gotten on a podcast and talked about how awesome and powerful and Shane and whatever the fuck else she's talked about herself. I have never gotten on a podcast and crowed about how incredibly awesome I am because people know who I am. If anything, I go the fuck out of my way to not tell people who I am. It's just... This is so awful, and it's so cringy, and it's so disingenuous, and I feel so bad for her that this is all she's got. And it's so sad. Anna travels. She travels so many places, you guys. She's got so many partnerships with like big fucking companies. Disney, Starbucks, whatever you think of them as the morality of the company, they're big fucking companies, okay? They got a lot of money. They could work with anybody. They're working with Anna, all right? She gets free shit from big companies, big fashion designers. You know, she gets personalized crap from big named people. She gets free surgeries. She gets free trips. She gets free clothes. The woman has written a book. Whether it's good or not, she wrote the motherfucking thing. She's been in independent film. Whether it's good or not, she's in independent film. Right? She's been in more interviews than I can count. She's now on a podcast. And you want to fucking, oh my God. And this is all she can come up with? You have so much actual success that you could talk about. And this is what you talk about. She just blows my fucking mind. It's like she's her own worst hater. And she's miserable, right? And she's just constantly fucking miserable. She's never happy. I would be so awkward if I ran into any YouTuber I follow. I mean, it's not a bad, I mean, it is if it's Anna. She doesn't want you to come up to her, but most YouTubers, I would think, I don't know, I wouldn't mind it. It doesn't bother me. I'm the one that puts my face out there. I'm the one who lets you know who I am. You know, it's gonna happen. Anyway. I don't know what that means, Suzanne. Weaponized reframing. Yeah. Yeah, just giving yourself a platform to brag. Yeah. I have not been in a knife fight. No. That is not. I used to fence. Does that count? Can you imagine? I do love my feral chat, yes. Everything is bigger in Texas. That is true, Clevermore. That, you know, I often wonder if that's why she moved to Texas. Yeah, Bright Balloon. Okay, you were talking to Bright Balloon. Bright Balloon, yeah, New York City, from what I understand, like, it's very anonymous. Like, it's so big. There's so many people. And she lived in, like, I forget where she lived exactly. I don't really care either. But, like, it's just such a big place. Like, if you're getting recognized in New York, you really made it, from what I understand. Anyway. She's just completely rewriting her life in real fucking time. We are 18 minutes into this fucking podcast, by the way. I would just like to point that out to you. We haven't even gotten to her actual medical shit. Who was it that wanted me to react to this live? I hope you're happy. You would call fencing a knife fight? That's fair. That was Justine leaving. Bye, Justine. Glad you came by. I can't imagine being so unhappy, ungrateful, and all the things she's done. I mean, yeah. You would run up to Anna and say, good job getting out there. Skip away singing, look what I can do. That's the problem. Like, Anna has a following that would just love to annoy the shit out of her just because. Hey, good job, Justine. Good luck and have fun. Husband got to meet a podcast hero in the wild, but that's because he happened to be visiting Dr. Steve. Oh, wow. Heck yeah. Dag. That's amazing, Lee. I'd love to meet Steve Novella. There's several skeptic podcast people who I don't think they podcast anymore, but I'd fucking love to meet some of them. Extremely fancy knife fight. That's true. That is true.
Involved in the body positivity movement, and this opened up a whole different world where my weight was seen in just a very different way for the first time in my life. So now I had this beautiful place in social media where people were like, you're beautiful, you're special. And we were talking about bigger bodies in a different way. I had lived in this world where I had learned to accept negative preconceived opinions of me and rise above them, which is, again, a great skill, but not super healthy or amazing to live in. and now was presented with a world where I didn't have to prove anything, or at least it felt like I didn't have to prove anything. And that was, for lack of a better word, addictive. We were right in that crux of body positivity coming to light. So
My nightmare.
the acceptance of a bigger body was on the way of being more accepted versus less. And so there was a lot of advocacy, there was a lot of supportive people. Don't get me wrong, still bad people out there saying mean things. That is the internet.
Oh.
But it was definitely a better place. And that space gave me hope.
You did nothing but bitch about BOPO and fat acceptance from 2017 onward. You have no less than 2 whole-ass videos. One of them is literally titled The Problem with Body Positivity. Anyway.
In a lot of ways. Hope that I could learn to live in this body and not necessarily
Body?
constantly be focused on changing that body. And if the body
Body?
positive
Does that count?
community helped me stop measuring my value in a size and helped me start
Boink.
appreciating what my body was capable of. And I will always be grateful for that. That said, my time in that community did cause some harm. And I think that that's really hard to say because I don't want people to feel betrayed or hurt or like I'm biting the hand that fed me.
Because she's been told all of those things by people who are still active in the BOPO movement.
But there's a lot of things in that community that make going to the doctor or even doing basic everyday things scary. There's a lot of discussion about how the medical community doesn't support fat bodies, which is true in a lot of instances.
Because it's fat phobic when a doctor tells you to lose weight for your health. That's how dare. How fucking dare.
But it doesn't mean that all medical professionals are out to get plus size people.
Because some of them don't care how big you are as long as you have a big enough checkbook.
Also, there was a lot of discussion about it's okay to take a break. It's okay to be tired, which again, a valuable insight into life. But I began to feel like, oh, being tired is just part of a bigger body.
Yes. Yes, it is. That's the downside to being obese. It takes more energy to move a fucking 600 pounds around than it does to move, 160? I think some of you were telling me she should be around 160. I keep saying 140, but 160 for her. Either way. It makes me feel disassociated listening to her talk about how her body is like an alien. Yeah!
Being exhausted, being in pain. These things are just normal because I am plus size. So it began to write a script for me that this was just my reality. And this is the reality I had to live in. And I just got, for lack of a better word, shitty cards. And there's nothing I could do.
This is a great segue into a question about when you started to think about perhaps your size as a more medical issue.
Because it is.
There were something else beyond just your size that was causing you to feel tired and everything that you just described.
I need tape to wrap around my literal skull to keep it from exploding. I do not have these things. Peppermint bark crunch. Momo slimes. Make sure I didn't have to reset it. Sorry. ASMR people, sorry. I know K-Bounce doesn't like the crunchy noise. I'm gonna let it play while I reset my slime.
I'm going to be really, really candid about all of this. It's a podcast, so we're just going to be real, right?
Candid needs to be on the... Candid or Candidly needs to be on the bingo card as well.
Had a normal poop for years. And it was beginning to affect my ability to do basic, everyday things. And I would get so exhausted on top of this. Sorry, I just said the poop because it was like, that was the thing that like broke the camel's back. But it would also be things like I would go and have a great day. Like I did all of these things. I'm like, man, my body's amazing. I can do all of these things. And then I would pass out and I would physically be unable to leave my bed. Like everything in my body would just break down. And I would be stuck that way for 2 to 3 days. I would have gastrointestinal issues. I sometimes would be vomiting. I would be violently ill. I started struggling to get out of bed just in general. And I kept pushing myself physically because around this point, I started to feel in my body really broken down. So as I'm in this community, I just kept thinking, oh, the reason my knee hurts is because I'm fatter. The reason my ankle hurts is because I'm fatter. The reason my thighs hurt are because I'm fatter. The reason I'm tired is because I'm fatter.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly how this works, Anna. This smells like Thin Mints, like Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints, and it's so good. It's like my absolute favorite one right now. This one, I love this one because of the way it smells. Coffee grounds, I think, is my favorite texture right now. Visually, I like the mulled wine. Calling it that way from here on out. Anyway, yes, Anna, your shit hurts because you're 600 pounds.
The reason when I stand up, I almost pass out is because I'm fatter. All of these things just became related to the weight, and that's just how my body was. And so
I mean, don't get me wrong. I damn near passed out today because I was having like the cramps from hell. Like, I'm not joking. My boyfriend was like, do we need to go to the doctor? And I was like, I don't know. So, don't get me wrong. But if I were to stand up and pass out, I would be going to the doctor. Not, oh, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with people? Why did I hit H?
I initially pretended like a lot of those things didn't exist. I think when it became really clear, I have one moment I remember that is the moment where I realized I couldn't live like this anymore. I was in Hawaii. We were
right, Lucy, but healthy at every size,
as one does as a creator, and I couldn't walk in the sand. It hurt so bad. And there's a video of me somewhere, I'd burn it if I could, where I fall into the sand and I just cry. And then I scream, turn the effing camera off. I don't want anyone to see me like this. I'm so ashamed.
And then I went home and made a YouTube video about it. Okay.
And I was this person who represented someone who loves their body. And I was at war with my body. And in that moment, I was like, I am such a liar. And I think that moment is where I was like, I need to make some changes. And I did not share that with the internet right away.
She made a video about this trip to Florida, which, by the way, she posted video of her in this trip to Florida. But this video exists. We'll go watch it. Not tonight, but we will go watch it. And actually, we're going to wrap up here in a minute. But she made a video talking about this exact moment, but she had been working out for like, I don't know, like 3 weeks prior to this, or 3 months, some very short amount of time, where she was like, my body's a badass. I can do anything. Meh, 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 meh. And then she goes to this trip to Florida, or wherever the fuck she was, Hawaii or whatever, and she's walking in the sand. And I don't know how many of you have walked in sand, but it's sand, and it started sucking her down into the sand because she's 600 fucking pounds. She was heavier then than she is now. And she got so fatigued because it's tiring. It's tiring for me. I'm like a fourth of her weight, a third of her weight. And like, it just tired her out to the point where she physically could not pull herself out of the sand anymore. And she talks about falling over, and she talks about this moment in that video. And of course, she's doing her own. And then I just couldn't get up. And I told them, turn off the camera. You know, she's doing that shit. So this is a story that she has told before, but she was telling it before as a way of like telling us, the audience, about how she wasn't as in shape as she thought she was, and how she needed to do more to get healthy, and how she needed to lose more weight and do more to become healthy. But here she's turning it around and she's like, I don't know why I was like that. Oh my God. My body was just totally betraying me. Oh my God. Anna, you are literally rewriting a story. You made the video. It's still on your channel. I've reacted to it at least once. Anyway, oh my God. This is incredibly aggravating. This is like watching Ancient Aliens. This is like watching Ancient Aliens or like watching Graham Hancock. This is that aggravating for me. This is even equally as problematic because this is Anna on a medical show with somebody with the word doctor in front of their name who is trying to push this as if it is some kind of factual, actual medical like facts. I'm running out of words. This is problematic. This is a doctor who is using their credentials to push woo-woo bullshit. They're allowing Anna to sit here and fucking rewrite her entire history. That Anna is on record, on the internet, on record, sharing a completely different version of this. Okay? That's the important thing to understand here. I'm not making crap up. We will finish this. I don't know if we'll finish it live, but I will finish this because I have a lot to say about it. But we made 24 minutes. We've been on this 2.5 hours. I think Matthew's one said the podcast or the episode lasted 2.5 hours. If you have that square. Yeah, so anyway. But I will finish this and I will have things to say about it because this is bullshit. Anna knows it's bullshit and I can't handle this. I can't believe that this doctor is okay with this. They clearly did not do their research. Either that or they did and they simply do not care. And that concerns me even more. That they're completely okay with Anna just getting on here and just fucking lying her ass off. And they don't care. So what does that mean about all of the other stories that they're going to have on this podcast? You know, if they're starting off with this, if this is their launch, their premiere episode, what's the rest of their episodes going to be like? You know? This is something to be concerned about. So here we are. If you've somehow not bailed, and I don't blame you if you did, because this is 2.5 hours into this. I don't know. Let me know how far you got on your own bingo card if you were playing it. Did we get anything else? We didn't get far enough into this. We didn't get far enough into this to get some of this stuff. What am I looking for? That one. I'm looking for that. She kind of implied that people said she was lying. I didn't really hear it. We didn't get to the lipo story. We haven't gotten to her running 5K yet. Fermi's where the free space would be. Haven't talked about the high protein. Haven't talked about that. She had that stupid giggle at the beginning. Haven't talked about being... She hasn't had a chance to make stupid jokes yet. She's been so bent on being poor, pitiful, miserable me that she really hasn't had a chance to make any of her little weird, inappropriate jokes yet. She did kind of do that one, but we still don't have a bingo. So we'll give it another shot next time. So... Thank you to the two of you that made cards. Thank you to those of you who are working on cards. I appreciate that very, very much. Excuse me. Rigolito podcast plot twist would be if they turned around and shredded everything she just said. Seriously. I would truly appreciate that. I hate ranting. Like, I mean, I enjoy ranting. I hate ranting so frequently like this just because, like, we got through nothing. But at the same time, like, every fucking word out of her mouth was, it was either complete revisionism or it just didn't make sense. Who puts an 8-year-old on FinFin in 1991? They just had started using FinFin. Okay, so they put an 8-year-old on what was effectively a brand new, kind of sort of still experimental weight loss drug in Ohio. Really? Okay, maybe. I mean, it's possible. It's possible that pigs fly. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense. And as an 8-year-old to a 14-year-old, you were on FinFin and were starved and were active and still gained weight while being on a drug that sped people's hearts up to the point where they died? Really? Hey, whatever. Therefore, Anna is true. Right. My bad, Sangi. No, it's fine, Lucy Jane. She did not run a 5K. No, she scuttled a 5K. I mean, my cramps are mostly gone, Clevermore. Hopefully they are gone. I don't know. We'll find out as soon as my endorphins from rage have gone away. Save your bingo card. Yeah, I think I will, because like everything else on the bingo card is like down the line story. We're still early yet, so I think I might hang on to the same card. They do get some people on there with a legitimate story. It's gonna harm. Yeah, exactly, because like you're starting the story off with like one of the biggest fucking liars on the internet. You say the same shit I scream every time people bring up this. Like, yeah, right. I really wish they would sit here and just like tear this podcast apart. Yes, Bright Balloon, I do get that a lot. Well, a lot. I get that. I think I've had like 3 people over the past year and a half. I've had 3 people be like, "Oh my god, what was the last one that? What did they say? It must be nice for Anna. Must be nice for you to be able to make videos on Anna's back." And I was like, "Yeah, it is actually. Thanks." What do you want me to say? There's a reason she's back on Wegovy, and it's not for anti-inflammatory purposes. I'm not going to walk in the sand in combat boots, no. I don't like doing it in sandals. The weird pooping thing. Doing bicep curls and bad windmills doesn't make you able to walk in wet sand. Okay, anyway, let's scroll down here. All right, if you've made it this far, let's put a magnifying glass. Do they have a magnifying glass? Is there a magnifying glass? I don't know. Let's see. Add emotes. What are our options? What do we have? Do we have a glass? Glass? Nope, that's not gonna work. Glass. Yeah, they do. Magnifying glass. Magnifying glass. There we go. Yeah. See, I looked this time. We'll never do it again. Well, no, you're out of the military now. You don't have to. Go. Now, how do I make you go away? I don't need any more emotes. Delete. Right. Well, I guess I'm stuck. There we go. All right. Yeah. If you guys made it this far, put the detective with the magnifying glass is good too, because this is the medical detectives. So this is episode 1. I guess they're going to put a new one out every Wednesday. As far as I know, this is not a limited run. So as far as I know, this is for a while. Once a week is a pretty aggressive schedule, just, you know, as someone who used to do this. So they clearly have pre-recorded a bunch of this stuff. It's interesting, because I say this a lot. Curvey needs to put this one on mine. It's interesting to me that Anna did not do any like hype of this until the day before. The day before this started, there's been no mention of it. And the only hype that Anna did for this was she posted on Instagram. She put a story or a post up on Instagram. I don't think there was anything on TikTok, and I know there wasn't anything on YouTube. So it's very strange to me that Anna has not really pushed this to her larger audience. I mean, if one of you hadn't mentioned it, I would never have known. I mean, Rocky was doing a good job of keeping track of things, but like somebody else was like, "Hey, did you hear?" And I was like, "Ooh, a podcast. You don't say." I mean, this is she did the same kind of shit with the Wegovy when she was on it the first time. So Instagram is where she goes to bury stuff, but where she's still obligated to mention it, you know? Yeah, like the newsletter. Consistency. Yeah, she does it to keep people who scrutinizing her away. Because she knows she has fewer eyes on Instagram, but it still counts as her social media. If that makes sense. Yeah, she doesn't want people who know her backstory to actually watch, just like her new lipedema story followers. Yeah, exactly. Oh, is she not putting out the... Yeah, I've noticed I haven't gotten anything about the newsletters. Yeah, she's completely rewriting her own story. I guess she forgot she published a book. As someone who is on a podcast with someone who frequently travels, it's a tough schedule. Yeah, once a week is tough. So they must have pre-recorded quite a bit. So I wonder if they're going to do like a season thing. Still, once a week is a lot. And there's been no mention of this being like an 8-episode run or anything like that. So anyway. Yeah, it is, Curvy. Colin, her Instagram is where her content goes to die. It's where she hides it. So, all right. So yeah, if you've made it this far, you guys, most of you have already put in your emojis. Shit, there's no way in hell we're gonna finish this episode before the next one goes live, but I will try to do my best. You should probably go find another video, Zora. I'm gonna wrap up because I gotta go eat dinner. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna go wash my hair, you guys. Totally gonna do that, and then my hair's gonna be immaculately dry 2 seconds later. And yeah, I'm doing my part. Good job, Allie. I really appreciate all of you guys. I really, really do. All right, I will see everybody in the next one. Go listen to the rest of this by yourselves if you want. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna finish it on my own, and I'll probably just gonna make like a wrap-up video of it. That way I can edit out all the parts that really, really aggravate the shit out of me. And I will see everybody